Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am your host, Sunny Cadwallader, better known in the social and digital world as CadChica. Tuesday 10 is a conversation. It could be 10 questions, 10 tips, or in the case of today, 10 minutes. But it's a conversation with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from media broadcasting, business marketing, social media, and more. Today is a super, quote, super day. We can't necessarily say what the name of that game is that's coming up on Sunday, but it is about the big game. For those of you who are in Phoenix, participating in the Big Game Media Day today, my guest is going to be there shortly, hitting up Radio Row. But before he does that, he is joining me on the show. He is Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Charles Johnson. Hey, Charles.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing good. Thanks for joining us. We had a little bit of tech issues, but we were able to work it out. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
My name's Charles Johnson, as you mentioned, and I'm a wide receiver for Minnesota Vikings, number 12, and it was my second season in NFL last year, and I was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. Unfortunately, was plagued with injuries there, and ended up leaving and going to Cleveland with North Turner and them while they was there. And when I got there, I found out my ACL was torn, so that season went down the drain. And I rehabbed that knee and was coming back for this season. Then they went to the Minnesota Vikings, North Turner and them, and then they invited me to come out here to Minnesota, and it's been great ever since.
You had a pretty good season, I would say, especially that Chicago Bears game. You were released in the middle of, well, not really the middle, but the beginning of the season, so you kind of had to learn on the fly, a whole new offense. What was that like, going from one offense to the next during a season?
I like to think that I'm a pretty intelligent guy, and learning offenses comes pretty natural for me. And it was kind of different for me because I was so used to concept-based offenses, because that's what I've been in my whole career in college in Green Bay, so it was kind of different for me going to the North Turner offense, which is a number system. So it was kind of different at first, but it wasn't really nothing I couldn't handle. I picked it up on the fly, and it was pretty easy.
Of course, catching passes from Teddy Bridgewater probably helps make the transition a little easier. Tell me about catching passes with him, working with him. Will you be working with him in the off season at all?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be working with him this off season. That's what I plan to do. And Teddy, I think is going to be a great quarterback in the future. And I always tell people that he is a veteran in a rookie body, and he does everything right. He wants to be perfect. It's hard to be perfect, but that's what he strives to be. And you can just tell the way he practices, how he goes through his reads, how he finishes out his reads when he does release the ball to his player. He'll finish out his reads, and the way he throws the ball to me, I think, is the biggest thing. His anticipation and the way he throws the ball with touch. As a receiver, I love a quarterback that can throw the ball with touch, who doesn't feel like he has to zip the ball hard every snap to get it to his receiver. So, I really like that about him, and I think he's going to be great in the future, man.
Now, as I said, you are in Phoenix. That is my home state. If you get a chance, go to Carolina's in Glendale, I think it is, on Cactus Road. They have the best tortillas around. But on another note, has anybody warned you? I don't know if you've been to any of the Super Bowl media days before. Has anybody warned you about the spectacle or what to expect? Or tell me about your thoughts so far of it.
Nobody's warned me or anything. I kind of just came here just open and let's see what's going to happen. And it's kind of crazy to me, man. It's really.
Well, it looks like Charles has frozen. Well, let me see if we can try and get him back. But you are watching Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am Sunny Cadwallader, and we are talking with Charles Johnson in Phoenix. He is a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, and he was released by the Cleveland Browns back in September, and picked up by the Minnesota Vikings, and he had quite the breakout year. And we will see what kind of work he does in the off season with Teddy Bridgewater, and hopefully he'll be making even greater strides next year. Let's see if we can get him back at all. Does not look like it. I wanted to ask him about his Twitter and Instagram handles because it's Mr. Incredible 12. That's MRINKREDIBLEXII. So I'm assuming he's got some ink going on, and I was going to ask him about what his newest ink was, but I am not able to get him back. But be sure and follow him on Twitter and Instagram, Mr. Incredible XII on Twitter and Instagram, and he also does have a website, Charles Johnson 12, I believe, charlesjohnson12.com, and I am Sunny Cadwallader. Oh, maybe, I think we're, oh, we got it, we get him again?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Right.
The joys of technology in this day and age.
It's good and it's bad.
That's all right. I don't know where we left off, but I'm just going to hop on to the next question. I don't know if you, when I was doing some research on you, I don't think you had faced the Patriots or the Seahawks. Is that correct in your short career? Okay.
I mean, when I was with Green Bay, I faced the Seahawks in preseason a little bit when I was coming back from knee injury, but I didn't really get to play too much. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've been able, I don't know if you watch some of the games in your spare time, you know, now that you're in the off season, I don't know if you've watched any playoff games. So I'm not sure how you can answer this, but what do you expect to see this Saturday? I mean, you've got Tom Brady going against the LOBs. What do you think you're going to see?
Man, I think it's going to be a great game. People keep asking me what my expectations are, and I mean, you got a high power offense like New England and Tom Brady, and then, like you said, you got the LOB in that defense over in Seattle, and I think it's going to be a hard fought game. I mean, I'm excited for it, and man, whoever wins, I think it's going to be a close one, and whoever does win, it's going to be a hard fought game.
Yep, I'm sure we'll see a little bit of beast mode too from Marshawn as well.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you about your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle, Mr. Incredible. I'm assuming you got some ink. Did you get any fresh ink? Have you gotten any fresh ink this off season?
I just got some new tattoos like probably a little over a month ago, and it's my first time getting some since about 3 years. So I just got some new ink.
Wow.
And I mean, the name came about in college. I mean, somebody brought it to me like, this is a pretty cool name. I like the spelling. And then tattoos. So I was like, man, let me just, Mr. Incredible 4 used to be it. Now it's Mr. Incredible 12. So I like the name.
There you go. What were the fresh ones? What are the new ones?
I got a little symbol right here, and it's got the cross, then the hope symbol, and then the love. It's all in one. It's like faith, hope, and love. Then I got a little Jesus hand, and then I got a little 12 right here, some trees, just a little. I don't know if you can see it.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, thanks, Charles. Before I lose you again, we're gonna cut this short. Thanks for joining me today on my show, and have fun out there. I mean, I grew up down in Phoenix, so it's a great place to be. I enjoy it. Sorry I can't be down there this year, but let everybody know where they can connect up with you.
Well, you can connect up with me at Mr. Incredible, at Mr. Incredible 12, but the 12 is in X capital II, and it's Mr. MRINKREDIBLE, then XII, Mr. Incredible 12.
And you have do you have a website too? I think I saw that, Charles Johnson 12, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cool. I'm not. I would be remiss if I didn't at least ask you for a prediction.
For the game?
Yep. You know people are going to ask you that as you go down radio road.
It's like I want to choose one, but it's so hard to pick one because the other one's so good. They're both so good at teams, and it's so hard to pick one. I like the Seahawks because I know a couple guys on the team, and I mean, I guess I root for them.
Okay, well, let me do this. How many touchdowns will Marshawn get? Let's go that way.
Uh,
Oh no! And right as I tried to get him, are you there?
yes.
Okay, I didn't hear you. You froze the technology again.
Oh yeah, I said Marshawn to get at least one, maybe two.
All right, we'll go with that. Thanks to Charles for joining me today. Enjoy Super Bowl Media Day. I am Sunny Cadwallader. Connect up with me on Twitter and Instagram at CadChica. Write about sports and social media at CadChicaSports.com. And of course, right here on Google Plus as well. Join me next week when I will be joined by Lauren Teague, former PGA Tour social media manager, and we'll be talking about the Q1 Sports Fan Engagement Forum in Kansas City, Missouri, March 2nd and 3rd. Thanks, everyone, for joining in, and my thanks to Charles. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we are done. Thanks, everyone.